The UDU, Upland Development United, installed their neighborhood nodes throughout the entirety of Upland. Their reach was unmatched.
Hello everyone and welcome to UDU and UDUA team meeting number 19. How's everybody going today? All right, we get some nods and thumbs up. Yeah, my name's Ben68 and today we've got Morcheese, Bocchio, Dubrider, Bogdansky, Finsky and Nubex all on board. So a lot of the OG members and the core pillars holding this thing all up. So thanks guys for jumping in. I'm going to throw pretty much straight over to you, Angela, for a progress update on how the Spark train's going.
It's going pretty good, you know, thanks to everybody going along with the 75% Spark and Uplando putting so far his 10. He's waiting for a build to finish and then he'll put more, but that's all working out really nicely. We have so far about 4 people already fully staked, 19 total. So like about 15 more to go. First build should be done in about 3.5 days, which is very nice. We have this new extension add-on of the bot that Hooray provided for us that tells us the exact amount of Spark everybody in UDU has and how much they're staking, the percentage, which is really helpful because I thought I would have to get my calculator out and, you know, I noticed in the last meeting I used my hands a lot. I mean, I am Italian, but I'm going to try to not do that. So yeah, I you know, it's getting easier and easier. Round 3 should be done lickety split. Round 4, can't wait. We're gonna have the 2-tier system. I'm really looking forward to that. I like the 75% with a 3 Spark minimum for tier 1. For the apartments, since it's the first time we're doing that level of build, I might want to start us out with maybe 15, depending on how many people, like how much people stake. Tier 2, I'm going to leave that to Bacchio. I know we still have time to sort that out. So, you know, I know he made something really awesome. I don't know if you want to speak on that, Bach, but I know it was a really cool kind of explanation. It puts everything into perspective, like lets people really know how it's going to be. Much better than me. I'm just like, rah, 75%, give me your Spark, give me.
I think that's worked out really well, the 75%. Yeah, I think that's a good play, and we weren't sure if we were going to get some pushback on that or how it was going to go, but everybody seems to have been on board.
We get a little pushback.
Yeah.
I had to send some brushes and knives DM, but for the most part, everybody was a really good sport. I picked on poor Dub. I was like, at first, like, all right, I'm a very nice person, but sometimes you just want to yell at people. And I'm like, oh, are you doing something bad? He's like, no. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I thought I was in the doghouse. I thought the knives were coming out. I was pooping it.
Welcome to my world. Yeah. But that's it's often a case of sometimes it's hard for people, you know, like you have, I do it all the time, even in my professional life. Like I have these ideas for what to do, and you just kind of almost expect that people understand what you want them to do. More often than not, that's not the case, and you got to follow up with some comments and that sort of thing. So no, I think that's good.
I make it fun though. I make the punishment fun. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So with the round 4 apartment train, we're going to have to play that by year, depending on how many people get involved, obviously. Even with that 75%, you know, we can't drag it on forever. And we've kind of made an unofficial cutoff, haven't we? Like, what is it? A month would be the absolute limit. We don't want to push over a month. So.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to go anywhere near a month. I was thinking like 2 weeks would 2.5 weeks tops.
Yeah, like what are we at? 21 days or something like that. That's probably the extreme limit. So 3 weeks, something like that. So if that's the case, and if we have more interest than what's available at the time, I imagine it'll be a case of whoever has the lowest staking amount is going to get bumped off.
Yeah, I mean, because there's going to be a tier 2, which Bach will be in charge of, and if you don't have to make an apartment, like if you have less than 3 Spark, or even if you have 3 Spark and you don't want to use all of it, maybe you just want to use 2.5 and make an apartment in tier 2. I know the minimum for tier 2 round 4 will also most likely be going up as well. Like we have to keep it like that so we can do it fast, get the rounds over with, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I see good things.
We also have Finsky came up with a great idea too. Like there's a lot of people that they want to get involved in that round 4, you know, the bigger UDU train, but they don't necessarily have a space within one of the nodes to build an apartment building. So they'll have the option to build, what was it? It was 2 townhouses, which equals
2 townhouses.
A bit less than the time it takes to build an apartment. So
yeah. So like if you have the amount of Spark needed for tier 1, and you don't have, like, you want to build in a node property and you don't have a big enough space, you could definitely still get in on it with the 2 townhouses.
So it's going to be a case of once that's all ready, yeah, you're going to have 2 buildings on the way. So make sure you keep that in mind when it comes time to nominate your properties and that sort of stuff. Because we know we've seen even Bok fell into that trap where it's okay. Angela was Morcheese was ready to go with Hooray's bot to get it all sorted, and there was a bunch of properties that hadn't been started on, which kind of throws a spanner in the works. So yeah. Make sure you got your building up and running, and then I think a couple of other people got tripped up with that too, didn't they? And then it became a bit hard to work out the calculations, and they said, well, hang on a minute, I've done 75%, but now I need to take out some to actually get my building started. The building has to come first, and then you do your calculations.
Yes.
Yeah.
We learn as we go, so
yeah.
We'll definitely implement that next time.
Yeah, Bok, did you want to speak about your ideas, or do you want to hold that off until that's ready? Or
no, I think it's good to share because, you know, there are some members here that can perhaps, you know, give some comments about it. I don't know if I can share my screen, however, I will try to disable because I had something in mind and I can share it with you. Let me see if I can. Disable.
No, I haven't. Oh,
yeah, I can still explain it. You know, yeah. I wanted to show the poster, but then again, I can still, you know.
Actually, I can pull it up, can't I?
Yeah, send it to Ben if it's a little updated.
Is it updated since the one you put in the chat?
Yeah, I think I will only. Let me check. I have to log into Discord. I think that the second page I made that a bit shorter, but I can still show the first page because that's, you know, that's also quite structured, I think.
I really like the first page.
Then I will only show the first page, that's better. Yeah. Let me check. Ben.
Yeah, no, that was good. You always go above and beyond with those sorts of things. Like I said, Morcheese and I just throw ideas out there, but it's always nice to see.
Yeah, there we go.
Just save this as a picture so I can zoom it up a bit.
Did you receive it in the chat?
Yep, I'm just getting it sorted out now.
Okay.
I'm going to push the wrong button here, and we're going to just be. Yeah, so like we're saying, yeah, if you don't have a spot available for an apartment building, which you know, a lot of people are in that situation, yeah, just find where you want to put up 2 townhouses. And sorry for the delay. Here we go. You should be able to see that now, yeah?
All right, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So what I actually wanted to do is for the second Spark train, I wanted to have the general principle that you are still able to, you know, do some property development together with UDU, but not an apartment building, but somewhere between a small townhouse and a townhouse. And the principle is there: you scratch our back, we scratch yours. So you stake your Spark into our buildings and we will do the exact same thing. So you don't have to, you know, rent Spark. We will build together and we will help each other out. With that in mind, I think there should be some rules. What I wanted to do is to have a maximum number of participants. So let's say 10. And the reason why we only do 10, that's basically twofold. On the one hand, you know, the main goal of UDU is to build our neighborhood nodes. So it's a little bit of an incentive to let people, you know, buy into the neighborhood nodes. I mean, I think that when you DM Ben or Mochis, I think you are still, you know, able to arrange something. But it's also, we also wanted to have 10 max, because to reduce the speed difference between the first train and the second train, because in the first train there is a minimal requirement of 3 Spark. I don't want that one to go really fast compared to the second one. So to reduce that gap, 10 participants. And another thing which is, I think, quite important is to make sure that each Spark that you invest will be rewarded. I don't want a risk that when some people just meet the minimal requirements of the amount of Spark, they will stick to that and let others build their apartment building, so that there will be no incentive to go beyond the minimal amount of Spark staked, absolutely wise. So the other rule is, again, the 75%. That was a really good thing that Vinsky and Mochis, you know, came up with. So I still want to have that. But then to make each Spark count, I want to have a sort of threshold, so a sort of cutoff. So when you stake between 0.5 and 1.5, you can, so there's a relative percentage requirement, but also an absolute Spark hours requirement. So when you stake between 0.5 and 1.5, you can build max a small townhouse or a ranch, which equals 1K Spark hours. But I also want to give people an incentive to stake more Spark, so not 0.5, but also the 2. And if you stake above 1.5 till 3, you can actually build a townhouse, so a bigger house where you can rent more places to people. And like what Vinsky said, also the opportunity to build 2 small townhouses in case you're not able to build a townhouse. And I think that's basically it.
Nice. Yeah, that was well put together. I do like the way that we've moved to this kind of the percentage ranking. I think that takes care of a lot of the players who might not necessarily have much Spark. It still gives them a chance to get involved. So with you only having, say, 10 spots in that second train, I assume that, like the other trains, it'll be ranked on the percentage staked. You know what I mean? So obviously, yeah, you want as many people on board, but yeah, we have to cut it off at some level, and then the bump off level is going to be probably the percentage ranking. So obviously, if you've got somebody who's only in that first area of the train doing a small townhouse, but they're putting in 100% of their Spark, well, you know that they're a bit more committed than somebody who's just scraping in at the 75% sort of thing. So
yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah.
But like everything, we'll play around with it. We'll see what works, what doesn't work. We'll tweak it and move on.
Yeah.
Very good. Does anybody else want to speak to that? I think that's all good. And Mochis, did you want to speak to the round 2 NFT that we got going? Did everybody get back to you with their WAMs?
I've been so busy setting up the round 3. I haven't really gotten up to that yet. And then I started like being a bad cheese and playing some Fallout 4. So I have to get to that. But I did post if you want to give it a little show. I believe it's in the announcements area.
Let me see. Before I start searching, I'll get it before I screen share. Yeah, so that was another one that you did up. Is that in general or is that in Spark?
Spark announcements.
Spark announcements. There we go.
I should have sent you the link for it.
Yeah, I got it here. There we go. So we should see it there. Oh, it's not doing its thing. Why is it not doing its thing?
Click on Discord.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So if you want a copy of that as your kind of thanks for participating, make sure More Cheese has got your web address.
Yeah,
And
I believe I put the list underneath.
Yeah, I think it's there somewhere, isn't it?
Or
There we
above
go.
it. Oh, above it, sorry.
Yeah.
Those are all the people. I did have one person contact me that I left out. It was Santa Claus. Who leaves out Santa Claus? So I put him in there. And if I missed anybody else's name, please let me know in DM and I'll add you. But yes, I'm getting a little better, as I go.
So are you planning on doing a custom NFT for each one?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was better than my initial idea, was to do a kind of generic one and then just keep changing the number.
Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Bogdansky, of course. I hope I'm saying your name right. Bog, OG, triple OG. I was talking to him before I started creating this NFT, and I was like, I am thinking about what I want to do, and he's like, well, why not make a train? And I'm like, yeah, it's a good idea. So I got my train idea from Mr. Bog.
Yeah, and if you have any ideas for the other rounds coming up, hit up the cheese.
Yeah, hit up the cheese. I'm down for ideas because I'm very last minute. So.
Alrighty, I think that covers everything Spark Train wise. Yep, we just off we go again for another round of fun. Next up, we got to talk about was the Great Poo Dee Pie Challenge of 2021. That was a bit of fun. I was just going back through my old Twitter account and I happened to see a screenshot from one of my old games, Poo Dee Pie, and I thought, hang on a minute, this, if I remember correctly, I set it up as a HTML5 online playable game with a high score recorder that could be made public. So I thought, why not? We've been talking about having some kind of in-house competition for a while, and I thought that might be a good way to kick it off. It did go way above and beyond what I was expecting. Yeah, there's apparently some very dedicated Upex chasers out there. Bot, did you want to speak to, considering you're the winner, congratulations. Did you want to speak to how it was all set up, what it was all about, and especially your absolutely incredible 4-hour marathon to claim the prize?
Yeah, so how to explain this game? It was a Poo Dee Pie challenge, or do I pronounce it good?
Yep, that's the one, Poo Dee Pie.
Poo Dee Pie, yeah. For a Dutch guy, it's hard to pronounce, actually. No, it was a fun game. Yeah, we went back to the old days when Ben was working at a factory, and then within the game there is this factory, and then all those pies, they came along, and there was a big poop machine, and you have to click very precisely to poo on the pies. It was quite intense. I tried to really, how do they say it? Backwards engineering the thing. There are some tricks in the game. I cracked the code, but it was quite nerve-wracking. The competition was fierce because I don't know how to pronounce his name. UDUA or
UDUA, yeah.
UDUA, yeah, he was also on Twitch. So we were actually pushing each other to the max. And, Thank God I had nothing to do on my free day.
Let's bring up your high score here, which we could not believe.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
crazy.
1,573 pies pooed on. So,
Maybe you should, add the link in the YouTube video so that people can try to beat it. And if they do, I will once again try it. So
yeah, this was one of my old Game Jam games. My good friend Steffen Wittig, who's just an incredible artist. This is a game that we collaborated on. We built it. I think it was a 72-hour challenge. So I stayed up from say 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. 3 nights in a row, and we worked together. Yeah, I think the theme of the Game Jam was the entire game on one screen, which is pretty open-ended, but I thought about what I could do, and yeah, the idea from my old Pie Factory days came up, and then of course once I get talking to Steffen, if I know More Cheese has seen some of his artwork and stuff, and I will put a link to his stuff in the description for this video as well. He's just a really out there, incredible dude. So once we got talking with different ideas, yeah, it was quite interesting. So yeah, but definitely just the craziest score you could ever imagine. What was my initial high score that the challenge was to beat? I think it was 133 or something. I don't think.
133, but you had another score. You said it like around 253, but 255, but it wasn't saved, or I don't know.
Yeah, that was on the build of the game. That's just like an app build. So I was going to put a link up to that, but of course, there will always be people that copy and paste and play around in MS Paint. So the reason I picked this game was because it had that online score system, which, as far as I know, couldn't be hacked or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. And I just sent you the prize too. Did you want to speak to how the prize evolved and the kerfuffle that happened there?
The price was 200K. So for a free 4-player, then yeah, chase those UPEX, I think.
Well, it was initially 100K, and I had a bit of confusion on what I said. I said I wasn't sure if I said the first player to beat my high score or whoever has the highest score. So it went from 100K reward to I bumped it up to 200K. So yeah.
I was too eager. I misread. No, I actually really misread. I thought, oh, I beat the high score, so then I can claim the UPEX. But actually, the message was someone who wins, that person who beats the high score, that will win 100K. Yep. If nobody beats the high score, then we have to pay the visit fees. I thought that was the case, and then I beat the high score, and I was like, hey, I won the challenge. But then you send a message like, hey, it's not over, and then Youth Logo came, and yeah, it was not over. So it was quite a race.
Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. We'd like to do some more of those. And like we said about the NFT idea, if you have an idea, I know Bob, we spoke a little bit too. If you have an idea for some kind of challenge or something like that we can run internally, just let us know, even if it's a case of, you might have an idea, but you don't have the UPEX, or you don't have an idea for what the prize could be, just hit us up. There's always ways we can get you an UPEX prize, or between the core team, we've got heaps of properties here and there all over the place. So whether it's UPEX prizes or property prizes, I think it was good. That particular challenge ended up being highly aimed towards people that had a lot of spare time. I think, Bok, it took you 4 hours of straight gameplay. Because that's it's kind of a Twitch game, that one. So you get one chance, there's one life. If you miss a pie, you get splattered on, and it's game over. So I know there was a lot of people that sent me DMs like, what the bloody hell is this? I can't get past 10. But yeah, and I did end up, because Bok shared some of the reverse engineering tactics that he'd worked out to me. And I sent that to Steffen, the artist, and it just blew his mind. He's like, holy hell, like that was just a quick game that we put together back, I think that's 6-7 years ago or something like that. So yeah, it kind of really blew his mind, because at the time even like we developed the game and we were struggling to get 20, 30, you know, so incredible effort.
The next one should be the spaceship shooter game.
Yeah, the Brood Stop. I have sent that to Block, but I'm not sure if he's played that yet. But the trouble with that is there's no way to record high scores. Call me not trusting, but yeah, it takes about 10 seconds to suddenly get a high score in MS Paint. So whether you have to capture it live, I don't know. Maybe you got to record yourself doing it. Who knows? But yeah, if you have any ideas for any other things, you know, there's 1,000 different things we could do there. Let us know.
Yeah, it was a cool idea because the chat was exploding and people were really involved. So that was really nice to see. It's cool action, Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, and like we did speak about that a while ago. Like it'd be good to do something like that where we can get the other collaborative nodes involved too. Like get the Lily crew involved or the icon or things like that. So get your thinking cap on and see what you can come up with. All right, next thing on my list is just a bit of an update on how we're going with the wine and cheese situation. More Cheese, did you want to speak to that as far as art and the theme song and whatnot?
You really want me to? All right. Well, all right. So we had a nice little powwow, and I kind of beat one of my ideas into you, and I'm so happy I did because I think it's genius. Not that I'm talking myself up a bit, but I got you on board. I don't think we should say what it is. Yeah, I think we should just let people see it.
Yeah, at first I was like, what are you trying to do here? And then, yeah, once the penny dropped, I was like, oh, damn, that is actually really clever. So, yeah, we won't give too much away, but that was talking about the intro that we're going to do for the podcast.
I could give a clue.
Okay.
All right, so Simpsons record shop. That's it. That's all I'll say.
And I'll give another clue too. Poo Dee Pie.
Poo Dee Pie. Okay, all right. Yeah, I get it. I see it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to get our first person on to start the show, and we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I have been talking to who we've got set up for our first guest. We won't give it away just yet. I don't think we've let it slip, have we? We haven't let that slip publicly.
I can't remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So we have our first guest lined up that we will have a chat to, who's come on board as our guinea pig, and we're throwing a few ideas around on, you know, how we can structure the show, what they want to get out of it, what they want to talk about, that sort of thing. So, and we did have the Nasty Hooks send us a bit of a teaser of the track they're working on. We got some interesting feedback this morning when I woke up, but we won't go into that too far. But yeah, it's still an early work in progress. So thanks to those guys. Really looking forward to the finished product that they're going to come up with. Oh, and I did want to mention too, maybe you can speak to this, More Cheese. Just wanted to push the Nasty Hooks live shows a bit. You know, we have a great relationship with those crazy dudes, and they've done a lot of good stuff for us and with us. And I've been lucky enough to be able to catch the last couple of shows. So did you want to speak to how they play out and what's involved?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's my three favorite things, like good music, funny gifts, and like a good time. I try to catch their shows anytime I can. They interact, you know, there's contests, they're just really funny, laid back. It's if you want something to do, I know they Tuesday nights are their home shows. If you don't have their Discord, like you could contact me if you want a Discord invite to their Discord. But yeah, you should check it out at least once. We're trying to get them to come over to UDU and do a show with us. Hoping, I gave them a date, but I don't think I remember what I told them. I think the 27th.
Yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah. And yeah, so the show would be live in about 5 hours from now, if I'm Is that correct? Something like that. I think it was
Yeah.
about 11:30 my time. Yeah. So if you get the chance, yeah, jump on over to their server and get involved. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a madhouse really, but it's funny. Just make sure you're not around any small children or sensitive ears. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on.
I think I'm worse than what they are, though, and I give my suggestions to what's in their briefcase.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's a highly interactive show. You know, they're monitoring the chat. There's all these gift battles, and you can request songs. If you've got a favorite song, hit them up. More often than not, they'll play it. So if you're not sure about what some of their songs are and some of their work, yeah, just search the Nasty Hook SoundCloud. I do know that they've revamped their YouTube channel and they don't have many subscribers at the moment. I tried to push that out a bit, so jump on over, show them some love, and get involved when you can.
What's your favorite song from there, Ben?
Oh, aside from the UDU theme song, I really like the Brooklyn Burn Part 2.
Oh yeah, you always do request that. I like I don't know the full name of it. I call it the dog poo song, but I know it's Wind.
Yeah.
Wind something.
Yeah, I love Bone Diddley. I mean, they got so many classics. Like I listen to this stuff when I'm washing the dishes, and I just piss myself laughing, and my wife thinks I'm absolute lost my mind.
Wind Inside.
Yeah.
It's got such a great, like, I don't know, it's so cool.
Oh, they got, discotheque. There's endless songs. It's just hilarious. Very good. All right, moving on. I have nominated somebody for an upgrade from UDUA to UDU membership, and I know I woke up this morning and More Cheese had nominated somebody else, which was cool to see. Yeah, if you're somebody who's in the UDUA team and you think, hang on, I'm ready to upgrade, yeah, just reach out. Oftentimes it does become obvious when somebody's ready, but we've got so much stuff on the go all the time, you can slip through the cracks. So just let us know. And I know with the member I nominated, they're perhaps not in a position at the moment to secure the 3 node properties, official UDU node properties that it takes to complete that membership upgrade process. But if you're somebody that we've seen is highly committed and a good team player, then we'll do whatever we can to get you on board. So that side of things, that's the easy side of things. And there is now, with Finsky's new system as well, there is a re-vetting process. So we will go through again and run through the vetting, but more often than not, that's just a case of running through formalities. So yeah, if you're somebody who's in that situation and you want to upgrade, yeah, just let us know. Did you want to speak to that, More Cheese, or are we good?
Yeah. What you said.
Cool. Just looking ahead to, there was a bit of chat, and again, speaking to node properties, we know that some people don't have node properties within MTU. And again, if that's the case, reach out to me, because there is still a whole bunch of property in that left side of the residential area. So there's definitely room to move in there. And, if you're in the core team and you want to get involved, if it's a case of it's just the UPEX balance, just reach out to myself or, More Cheese or any of our core members. We'll work with you, whether it's through collection swaps or you might have a property that you can sell or whatever. The UPEX side of things, that's something that we can, as a team, we can sort out pretty easily. So other than that, oh yeah, so getting back to my point was, where are we headed next? At the moment, we're still kind of heavily focused on MTU. That's likely to stay that way for a while, because I know there's several members who still have yet to build out their properties there. That's not to say you can't build anywhere. We know with our spark drains that pretty much until that round 4 apartment build, that'll be the first time where we say, well, hang on, if you want in on that, it has to be in a UDU property. Up until now, we're being totally open. You can build wherever you want, especially with this East Coast stuff about to open up too. We'll just have to play that by ear. But yeah, there was talk about where to go next, whether it's Lone Mountain or Balboa Terrace. We know that Venom has stepped away to focus heavily on his Green Rabbit stuff. He's still very much UDU, but I can't imagine him coming back to Upland with any great focus for a while. So unless we hear something to the contrary, I think like originally we were going to go Midtown Terrace, Balboa Terrace, Lone Mountain, but I think we put the Balboa Terrace to the side for the moment and we focus on Lone Mountain. But yeah, we'll see. If I know Finsky has property in Balboa Terrace that he wants to build out first, that's fine. There's still flexibility there. So, but yeah, after Midtown, we will look to Lone Mountain. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. What else do we have next? Oh, how did everybody go in the Fiat out madness towards the 1 million in Fiat out sales? Anybody pick up some cool bargains?
I know Awesome, one of our newer, more starting out players, won. He reached out to me and was like, oh, can I buy like a really cheap Fiat from you just to get in? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I know my Staten Island property. I'm like, I don't really like those. So I'm like, yeah, buy this for $3. And he won 0.10 spark.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool for him.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I heard a lot of people got some really good deals.
yeah, it seemed to be people were going crazy, like selling to try and get into that tier system. It kind of blew my mind a bit. It's not like once you hit that threshold, you were guaranteed a prize. You were still only buying yourself a ticket in a lottery. Anyway, yeah, and the prize was Spark. And if you're, I couldn't get my head around the math. If you're doing all these fire sale deals to sell low, wouldn't you be better off holding onto the Fiat and just buying some Spark when it came available?
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's good news for the ecosystem. Though 1 million in sales, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many people that own so much that I don't think like a few low sale properties are going to really hurt them all that much. And it's good for some people to kind of like get the stuff they didn't have. Like, I love these events, especially like tier 2 to tier 3 city openings. I don't really participate that much in those, but I really do love the sales that go on in tier 1 properties when that happens. So it's just like everyone's like, oh, what am I going to buy, in this new city? And I'm like, well, what am I going to buy in this old city? You know,
it goes back to that thing we were talking about last week, was trying to stay liquid, being available to take advantage of those situations that come up. And
yeah,
I've kind of come up with maybe a loose idea for that. We'll speak to that a bit later as well on how to deal with that. Because as you know, as you saw, many of you saw last night, I absolutely suck at maintaining a balance. I saw 3 blocks available, 3 full virgin blocks in Santa Clara available. And I was in Chicago at the time. I got straight on the plane, straight on the train. I was over there and minting it up. Yeah. And it was actually funny. I was sitting on the couch doing it with one of my sons. He was watching me and we were just having a bit of a chat. And he's like, what happens, Dad, though, if somebody sees your block explorer and they know you're doing that, won't they just jump in and buy it? And I was like, holy crap, you're right. So I changed my block explorer to some like random thing. I was like, I should have done that first.
he's learning young. That's good. Look at him. He's so smart.
Yeah.
Crafty.
So, yeah, exactly. So we have seen that before, like people, whether it's you can't really combat the blockchain monitors. Like if somebody would have saw I was just banging out mint, you can't really combat that. But I know there's a lot of people that keep an eye on different explorers and to say, oh, I wonder what you're up to over there. So I guess the big crazy stacks of collection chips probably still gives it away though. But yes, I'll speak to that idea a bit later. Next up, well done Nubex for taking out the People's Champ. Good job. I think he slammed it in the end, didn't he?
I did destroy the competition like so bad. I mean, I didn't even lost a cent.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
in theory,
sorry, I was just going to say I did read you put a list of tactics there. Did you want to speak to that as well? That was really cool to see.
yeah, sure. It's not that hard. I mean, you just have to look at big data transactions on UP2 .land. And then you have to search for some specific information. And of course, you still need to check if it's a visitor or not. But you know that visa won't expire, and you can check. I always check how close the visitor is to Uplander status. If it's above 6,500 in net worth, I don't send there. So I take it very serious. I don't want any cent to be lost, and that's basically the way to win it.
Nice, and that was
incredible.
That was 30,000 UPEX, and there was a spark reward attached to that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not worth the effort. I can definitely say that.
How much
Yeah.
spark
But
was it?
0.1 spark.
That's not bad.
That's about $45 worth or something like that. Considering
Yeah.
Something like that.
How many
It's
hours
not
did you put
worth
into
the
it?
time.
Yeah,
I think about 14 or 15. So,
jeez. Yeah.
yep.
You should have put those 14 hours into playing Poo Dee Pie. You would have come out with 200k.
Yes. Well, some ditches are smart like Bakio and some are dumb like me. So,
And I did see just then too, Lazy, you're on board. I think this might be the first team meeting you've jumped on. How you going, mate?
I poked
Oh,
him
I'm
in.
doing good. I'm good. Yeah, sorry. I work from home, so I don't frequently have this time available, but I could fit it into the calendar, so I figured I'd show up and give a shout out to the UDU team.
Very cool. And I believe you're one of the members that we are in the process of upgrading from UDUA to UDU. So looking forward to seeing that through.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I just vetted him.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Denied.
Nice.
Yeah, Nub's been awesome to play with over the last year. And Cyclo or Lazy, another really, really fun one to play with. So some good times with them.
More
Cool.
cheese.
And more cheese for all the great chats and conversation out there in our Discord. So
Very cool. Well, yeah, we'll get that sorted out ASAP. Another thing that came up just recently was within the fan server. Cyclonics asked about the executive 3D models. We have a bunch of executives here. I know that when that became available, I think that was very close to when I went executive in October 2020. I applied for my 3D model immediately, and as part of that process back then, you had to nominate a property for it to be placed on. I didn't put too much thought into it. I think as well, I may have even sold that property. So that's probably a drama yet to unfold. But has anybody else submitted their 3D model design?
I
Executives?
didn't even know about that.
You haven't done yours, what?
yeah, I totally spaced it. I definitely need to do that though. I just got over 10 mil this last month, so
Yeah. Just don't hold your breath. No, said I haven't, but that's because I did not go back to San Francisco.
I'm still waiting on my BE for like 5 months. So
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So that's something that's yet to play out. I might actually see if I can get back in. I'll send a ticket through to support and see if I can change mine, because originally I ordered a pair of golden thongs that we call them. What do you call them? Flip flops. So
it would have been cooler if they were actual golden thongs,
thongs.
like what
Pair
we
of
call
thongs.
thongs. A pair of golden thongs on there. Now that's a statement.
So yeah, I have since thought it'd be cool to do something with the whole Samurai Aquatics theme or something like that. So we'll see how we go. But yes. Dub, you still on? Can you give us a rundown on what's happening with Green Rabbit?
Yeah, sure can do. First off, I know we talked about this a little bit before we started here, but price of shell right now is going up quite a staggering amount. I think as we're drawing ever closer to the crafting and the marketplace, people are getting some FOMO buying on the go, and the price has gone mental. And just this last week, I measured it's gone up 100%. I think that's about 33% just in the last day or two. So it's pretty crazy, and everyone's talking about that in the Discord when they jump in. Everyone's coming in saying hello, Shell's mooning or something like that. So that's unreal. We've also had the latest bi-weekly update, which dropped just a couple of days ago. So I'll try and skim over that very briefly for us. They started off by talking about the marketplace, which is still really, really close to coming live for us. And that's where we can spend our shell on both in real life items and in-game items. And apparently some of this VIRL thing is going to be available as well, the virtual NFT, where you can buy an NFT in the game and it's come with some kind of redeem function for an in real life item. So obviously they're not told us, they're not giving us a clue what any of these items are. So lots of speculation right now, but everyone's proper stoked about it. We've had a sneaky shot of one of the green prints for the turtle armor, which looks absolutely sick. We're all looking forward to that, and everyone's just going nuts for the crafting. I can't wait for the green print crafting, which is a week today. So hopefully next Tuesday there might be some madness to report. And then finally, we've got talk of this V1 optimization chip, which we're going to be able to, it says we're going to be able to procure it from the marketplace. So obviously a bit of a grey area there. We don't know whether we're going to buy it, and if we do buy it, whether it's shell or fiat or what. But this chip's going to come live, and that's going to have lots of quality of life functions to it. So you're going to be able to plug it into the Shell OS. It's going to be able to automatically stake NFTs for you, as well as optimize your staking to make sure that you've obviously got all the best ones in your flash drives. And then it's also got unstaking, like an auto unstaking feature for when crafting goes live. So rather than us going into each flash drive individually and manually unstaking each particular NFT we want, it's going to automatically do that. Just a couple of button presses, I would imagine, and it's going to do it all for us.
That sounds like a sounds like a feature that's kind of crept over from InVenom's, InVision for Up Squared Land, where he wanted to try and deal with the drama of having to list properties one at a time or delist. So that's really cool to see a kind of a merging of the ideas there.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely been inspired from what he's done with the UP2 land, for sure. And it's on that similar sort of note, even though him doing the UP2 land was like a partner project, well, not partner project, it was a third-party project from Upland, wasn't it? He doesn't want that for Green Rabbit. He doesn't want third-party people putting tools out there. He wants it all to be official, all absolutely, working tickety-boo, and no one's getting cheated or anything being wrong. So it's just another step to make sure that that Green Rabbit website is going to be your one-stop shop for anything and everything, to do with the game. He's been getting more and more people on the team, like almost on a daily basis. His dev team's just grown from strength to strength.
I did see too, there's a new channel, what is it, Nanotopia TV or something? A new YouTube channel came up?
Yeah, so that's one of the guys on the Discord, Drake the Snake. He's made it his mission to put out really good quality videos based in the Green Rabbit universe. So he's not just dropping news and updates, he's doing it as if he is speaking from within Nanotopia as a character in Nanotopia.
And it's really high quality stuff too.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. His production values are amazing. And what you have to put into context is most of the videos we've seen so far, he's just been using like free videos you can find on websites. They've got pre-made video clips for certain bits. He has now recently got at least one, maybe two people on board that are going to actually make him some original artwork to help with all these videos. So rather than him cutting and pasting and kind of making do, he's going to start having a little team around him that can really help him push it up even a notch higher. Because like you say, but the videos are great quality. His production values are awesome. He's writing scripts for them. He's really going to that next kind of level.
Did you do the read on any of those videos? The first video I listened to, I thought, hang on a minute, that's Dub speaking.
Yeah, the law videos.
It was you.
That's
I knew
me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
There
got
you
good
go.
ear for that. Yeah, I started doing an audio law thing a while back because obviously Mars is writing the law, and he started doing his story time with Mars on the Upland Action News. Me being a mod on the server, I was spending lots and lots of times every single day directing people towards a law because it's an absolutely amazing read, and the game is actually being more designed around the law than the other way around. So reading the law gives you really good insight into what could be coming. So I'll be putting people that way, and lots of people loving it, reading it. A lot of people also think, oh, there's a lot there, don't know if I've got the time. So I've done a bit of YouTube work before, so I've got all the kit here. So I started reading all the law out. So all the law is now in audio form. So anyone can listen to the law if they don't have the time or the desire to read it. You know, can stick it on in the car or in the kitchen or at work or whatever. And then Drake has taken that to a whole next level by taking the audio and putting a video around it. And like I say, now he's got some actual artists and graphic design people on board. So yeah, just the next few videos he's going to make are going to be even more amazing. Can't wait. It's all kicking off, and it's all going to go even more mental in a week. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
just trying to hold down the fort right now and chomping at the bit, man.
Very
Chomping
good.
at the bit.
And yeah, we've seen with the price of Shell mooning, inevitably what goes up must come down. If you've been in the crypto space, you know that especially when you're talking about snapshots and things like that, there is an inevitable dump coming. But I think it's really clever that the team's coming up with these ideas for, the crafting and this secondary marketplace. They're doing a lot of work to help mitigate what will be the inevitable, the dump before the price stabilizes and that sort of thing. So I think that's really clever.
Yeah, they've put a lot of thought into that because the market could have been all over the place on the run up to the crafting beginning. But like you say, they've really smartly implemented a couple of bits and bobs that have just helped give the market a bit of stability. I mean, like you say, it's going to dump at some point. It's bound to. Nothing goes up, forever parabolically. Everything's going to go up and down, but we've got much better foundations going on for Shell now, which is really great to see. And obviously it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in a week's time, how many people dump, how many people keep holding for the crafting. And it's pretty cool, man.
There's, like always, there's two ways to play that. Ride the dump and get some out yourself, or wait for the dump and then pile in to wait for the inevitable bounce back that will occur. And, you might be able to pick up some very cheap Shell.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I mean, a lot of people have been stocking up on their Shell on any little dips in the market to try and up their position in the fan club thing. So that's been helping out as well, because more people have been buying than have been selling.
Yeah, I know. I'm positioned to be a hodl baller, that's for sure.
Oh, nice.
They're doing a lot of amazing work there. But I gotta go, guys. I do some work with Tales of the Crypto. It's another NFT out there, and they're on Upland Action News today. They'll be coming on here in about 4 minutes. I got to go over and help support over there. But thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for the update, Dub, and thank you guys for everything.
Thanks for jumping in.
Hope it goes well, dude.
I guess we could speak to the whole Upsquareland situation that kicked off as well. I've been kind of chomping at the bit for Envenom to put an ultimatum like the one he did out there. Maybe ultimatum's not the right word, but definitely a case of what the hell's going on.
It was a bit of a kick up the butt, wasn't it? It was like, come on, guys, wake up a bit.
And the response that he got was interesting, where I don't know if I want to say names, but yeah, the response from the team was, hang on a minute, I thought that was already sorted out, and there's been nothing sorted out. So that was kind of a weird situation. But we do know, like, if you go back and look at, I think it was team meeting 2 to 5, maybe, when Venom was talking about Upsquareland. Like, we know how fast this guy works and the team of people he can throw together. Like, he had Upsquareland up and ready to go within like 2 weeks. And then there was a case of there was negotiations happening where, that whole third-party developer situation pretty much kicked off, from what I understand from Invenom's work. And then I believe there was an agreement where he was going to get direct API access or something like that, API access, which would have, that's the final piece of the puzzle that's going to kick this whole thing off. And I know from speaking to him personally, and anybody who's seen him can see that this guy moves at a very fast pace. And if you're not keeping up, you're going to be left behind very quickly. I think it's very impressive the way that he's handled that to date. Like, there has been a hell of a lot of pushback from the wider Upland community. A lot of grief sent his way about, all these conspiracy theories and this sort of thing. Hopefully Upland comes good and we get this kicked off. Otherwise, he did give them a 24-hour kind of window to get it sorted out. But we know that there's been no paywall. That was pretty much the ultimatum. If something doesn't happen, I'm going to have to put this behind a paywall or shut it down, because it can't keep going on forever. There's significant costs involved in keeping servers going and pretty much trying to keep it updated. There's so much happening in Upland all the time that you can't put a system like that together and just leave it. Like, we know that's probably part of the reason why Hacker moved away from the thing in the first place, because there is a hell of a lot of work involved, and that's not free. Somebody has to pay for that eventually. So we shall see.
Yeah, we just got to hope it pays off. It's like, say, he's invested a hell of a lot of time, money, and just passion into it.
Yeah.
And it's something he didn't have to do. No one forced him to do it. And like you say, he could have done the paywall thing from day one, but he didn't. He's trying to make something that's going to be really useful for the whole community.
Yeah.
So let's hope it pays off and we can all reap the benefits.
Nobody would be more disappointed than Invenom if he has to turn the lights off. That's for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's definitely not a guy that has failure in his dictionary, is he?
No, 100%. So we'll see how it pans out. Getting back to what I mentioned previously about staying liquid. I had this idea. It's kind of been done before, I know, and we have actually talked about it before, with making use of the offer escrow feature. So I'm kind of not sure how I really see it playing out, but I had this idea where then maybe there's a spot somewhere, whether it's an existing area that we can find or somewhere that we can mint, like a block. I don't know, we call it the don't spend your money, you dickhead, save it for releases node or something. Have an area where we all have a property. Anybody who wants to get involved has a property in this little area. And for example, say my property is next to Moorcheese and I want to squirrel away 2 million UPEX. Well, I'll put in an offer for Moorcheese property for 2 million and just let it sit there. That way there's kind of a bit of accountability there. Like, I have done that previously where I knew there was some kind of dead accounts in Midtown Terrace. So I would hide some money by sending an offer through for those properties. Nothing ridiculous in case they did come on board and accepted it. But it's too much of an easy habit to, when you're chasing UPEX, to just then go through and cancel the offer. There's no accountability from randoms. But I know that if I put 2 million in escrow via an offer on Moorcheese's account, and then suddenly she sees that disappear, well, she's going to throw hairbrushes at me and say, what the hell are you doing? So it was just kind of a loose idea I had. It's kind of almost a tag team system. I don't know. Does anybody think there's any value in looking at that? Or crickets?
I don't know if I'd ever have that much liquid.
Well, that's kind of thing. It could be almost like a savings account. Like I might put an offer in for 100,000 UPEX. So that 100,000 is gone, but then I save up another 25,000 UPEX, and then I up my offer to 125, you know? So it could be almost like a savings account.
That would be cool though if Upland did like kind of implement the money market type thing that gave you a sort of percentage
Yeah.
for UPEX held and whatnot, or fiat held even. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Well, there's always been talk of banks for over a year, but it's a case of, it's another one of these cases where those tools aren't available, so we got to make our own. We've seen that with Octavius and all the stuff he's doing. Again, it's the community leading the team sort of thing. So I was
You'll
just
be like,
thinking,
cheese, where's my interest?
no, nothing like that. Because
I'm kidding.
Because you don't have access to that funds. It's just basically you will see an offer and it just sits there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm teasing you.
Yeah. But it did lead to another idea that I had as well. We did see with this fiat out madness that went on, there was, and including myself, there was a lot of players who had, say, a spare collection property or 2 spare collection properties, and they were looking to offload those properties. I had the thought a while ago, but I didn't really pursue it. What about if we set something up within the team where we had almost a collection pool? So say I had 1 spare, which I do, Euclid Ave or something like that. Well, if somebody else had 2, we kind of work out a deal where I essentially loan them my property and they collect the UPEX, and then we split the dividends or something like that, or whether we work together as a team and build up a pool to help out our new players or something like that. Again, it's still a very loose idea I had, but yeah, if you have spare collection properties just sitting around, I think I have a few spare Fifth Aves in Manhattan and bits and pieces here and there. Yeah, maybe there's a way that we can kind of make use of that.
It would be cool. Like it reminds me, not to geek out or anything, but it reminds me when I used to play MMORPG called Anarchy Online, and we were able to have a bot as a character in there as sort of our inventory that we can go to and kind of borrow stuff. Like it'd be so cool if we could have something like that within the game, within our UDU organization, where people are like, oh, I need access to borrow a property from the bot sort of thing. But yeah, we could talk more about it. It does really sound interesting, and I would be more than happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we'll probably need our own, it'll probably need its own individual channel. And the bookkeeping side of things would be the biggest hassle, like keeping track of who has what where, because I know that my memory is shocking with that sort of stuff. I know Finsky reached out not that long ago saying, oh, when can I get that Olive Ave property that we did a deal where I lent him some UPEX by holding this Olive Ave property, and I was like, holy shit, I had to go back, because at the time I was selling a whole bunch of spare collection properties. So luckily I didn't sell it and I was able to give it back to him, but yeah, I've got a shocking memory for that sort of stuff. So there definitely need to be some bookkeeping associated with it.
Not me.
No. But
I
yeah,
know I'm a very active charity swapper within UDU. I don't swap outside of UDU. I don't judge those who do it for half the UPX, but that's not me. Most of my days are people sending me offers within UDU to do swappy swaps.
Yeah.
And I'm like busy with a lot of stuff, so we can see who maybe wants to.
It would definitely only be within the team. And yeah, I used to run, I was famous for doing 50-50 swaps, and in fact that's how I got to know, pretty much that's how I got to know Nubex and Finn and a whole bunch of players. That's how I got to know them on a bit of a deeper level, was doing that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'd definitely only be within the team.
Yeah, be careful, because I'm sure you guys have seen what happened to Tom has, sure, whatever. he bought the collection off me, that Chicago Riverwalk collection, which was a temp swap blessing for sure, but he took it too far and was not doing his homework and got it sniped. So
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sure you're being safe.
Yeah, it's not fun. And like I say, if we have a standalone channel that's just for that, yeah, that might help. Then we can always refer to it. But yeah, it was just an idea I had because I know I have a bunch of, I think even it might not be a lot of UPEX. Like I think I have spare the Great Kills collection from Staten Island or something. Like it might not be a lot of UPEX there, but if you're talking about some of our newer UDUA members, that little bit of a boost could be, very helpful to them.
Yeah, I'm always open to temp swaps. I tried to throw my stuff out there. I keep a really updated list, so I'm happy to do that. I'm also happy to add in some properties to giveaways in the lot. So reach out to me. I got like 500 plus at the moment, and a lot of them are collection properties. I tend to hyper focus on those.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. All right. We'll look
On
into
that note, I had
Yep.
to join for 5 seconds before I could jump over. I didn't give More Cheese enough props. She's been amazing and really helped me through my journey here with UDU being UDUA. So I felt a little bad because I was like, oh, Nubik, Cyclonics, Ben, you're awesome as well. I've had some other interactions with, Bogdansky and Finn a little bit, but again, thank you guys so much. I don't want to take too much time there. And I'm going to do a minor plug. We are giving $500 worth away of Upland properties with Tells of the Crypto. I'd love to see all the UDU members over there in the entry. It's just a give lab. You go in, put your Upland account, put your name, you can win properties. They're collection properties, all of them. So
Cool. Sounds good.
awesome. Thanks, guys.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Just the last thing I wanted to speak to was I did set up last week's meeting as a podcast. There's been a lot of talk, especially early on in the team, about going to set up a podcast, blah, 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 but nothing ever came to fruition. So with the Wine and Cheese show, that's definitely going to be set up as a podcast. So I just kind of dipped my toe in a little bit. I've had a look around and looking at different hosts and that sort of thing. I found one that seems to be okay, but if you're somebody who's in that world and you know of a good host site, let me know and I'll check it out. At this stage, I'm just kind of testing out the free versions, whether or not I'm going to go in for an upgraded account. So if you can, I'll post a link to that again. So jump over and give it some love if you can. Other than that, did anybody else have something they wanted to speak to before we wrap this up and get on with our day? No? All good? Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody, and we shall catch up with you.